hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up. Thumbs up all my videos. Thumbs up every Mgtow video that you watch. Whether or not you like the guy's presentation style, if he speaks kernels of truth, water him with thumbs up so that his philosophy can grow, so that it can be spread, right? Because what I'd like to point out here, and I'm going to use a biblical reference, so for you atheist types, forgive me. But there's a saying in the Bible that goes like this: you can know a tree by its fruits. And that's ancient wisdom. It has nothing to do with religion. It just has to do with it was written down in one particular book or many books because it's actual wisdom. And when you're creating a religion, you adopt wisdom that makes sense, and it lends credibility to that religion. So let's continue. You know a tree by its fruits. What fruits have the Sirens produced? They've produced feminism. They've produced the equal rights movement, which is really about women's superiority. They've produced socialism because they can't take care of themselves. That same philosophy, yes, produced socialism so that everyone's taken care of by the grand poppy, right? The grand pappy, the grandfather, government. What fruits have feminism produced? Divorce, alimony, the destruction of tradition, and the absolute and total demise of the freedom of men. Fine cigar. Fine cigar. Those are the fruits that feminism has produced. Now I'll ask you, thanks to the discovery of the secret and ancient scrolls of Mgtocrates, right? Mgtow has reemerged. Men going their own way. Men going their own way. You know, thank you guys for doing this. Thank you for coming here. Thank you. You know, I wasn't the first one to talk about Mgtow. I didn't create the name. I'm just a guy named John. Mgtow says, men, go your own way. Men, step away from gynocentrism, from the vagina. Get away from that crack. There's a draft coming out of it that disturbs the mind. Right? It affects the senses. It reduces the intellect and weakens the muscle. What fruits has Mgtow produced? Oh, it hasn't produced anything to support feminism, but we've already seen that the fruits of feminism is destruction. Absolute chaos and destruction for our culture. And you can't kill a culture in 10 years or 20 years or even 50 years. All cultures, all great civilizations, empires do not crumble in a day. A city may burn in a day, but an empire takes generations to destroy. And that is where we're at. That is feminism. That is what it has done. That is its fruits. The fruits of Mgtow is to teach men, men like you and men like me. It has taught us through what we knew intuitively and what we hear is the spoken word to the attentive ear. And a lot of you brothers know what I mean by the attentive ear. You've heard that before. The attentive ear wants to hear mansplaining. Right? But what has it done? What are the fruits of Mgtow? We've stepped away from women and stopped destroying ourselves. Good fruit. We have taken a morally bankrupt philosophy, feminism, and denied it. More good fruit. We have desired for ourselves to build wealth, to build a retirement, to build business, to build ourselves. That's good fruit, right? That's 3 things I pointed out. There are many other positives that come out of Mgtow. And all of them come by way of completely denying feminism 180 degrees and going our own way. What is another type of evidence that tells us Mgtow is the tree that produces good fruit? Well, fuck, I lost my ash. You know the success of your empire, of your philosophy, of your teachings, of your personal efforts by the evidence provided by your enemy, by the amount of attention your opposition gives you. Mgtow men have women pissed off at us, scared about it, worried about their futures because they're being denied. That in and of itself is strong evidence that it is a sound philosophy. It's a good philosophy, not only for us personally, but for our culture. And I'm not talking about putting shackles on women's necks. I'm not talking about enslaving them. I'm not talking about making them work in sweatshops for us, right? Of dominating them, absolutely. I do agree that people, all people, men and women, should be allowed to make decisions for themselves. They should have a right to self-determination. You want equality, bitches? There it is. But see, feminists don't want that. They want superior rights. That's evidenced by you divorcing them or them divorcing you and them singing the siren song to the court about how they need your money to continue to live or they'll perish. Oh, the poor little siren. That's where we're at, guys. That's where we're at with these bitches. This realization that I've talked about, this understanding of women through the myth of the siren. It's nothing I discovered. Fuck, you guys know it. You went to school, I'm sure, and heard this story. It is an ages-old concept put down in writing by many ancient philosophers that women are destructive forces in this world. And there are many other myths that great philosophers, including our good buddy Mgtow, has talked about. You'll find in the ancient myths, the ancient teachings, wisdom about how women destroy men. In the Bible, it's the Jezebel, right? In Greek mythology and Roman mythology, it's other things, like the siren, the Medusa, etc. Even the story of Venus, or Aphrodite, the goddess of love. She was also a jealous, vindictive, destructive whore. That's right. She was married to one god. But what did she do? She would seduce other men, cause them to fight amongst themselves, to destroy themselves in her favor. Yes, Aphrodite, beautiful. She was a good lay, I gotta tell you. But what is she? She represents destruction because of her beauty. So when you see that hot ass, those big coal-darkened eyes like Cleopatra, those pert titties, right? If you're close enough to get into that beautiful that beautiful golden vagina, right? You're flirting with your own destruction. 'Tis better to pay for it up front, to use it for a time, but put yourself in a position where you can get back on that ship, leave that port, and continue on your path, sailing the seas you choose and leaving those sirens behind. If you've made it 38 minutes through this video and you haven't clicked subscribe, you're a fucking moron. If you haven't subscribed to any other Mgtow channels, you're a fucking moron. If you're a woman, you're learning the truth of the fucking matter as men see it. And it is a man's world. But I'll say it anyways. Click the subscribe button. Click the bell next to it. Perhaps there are men out there that have made it this far in this video. And you hear the truth. Right? As men, we always know the truth when we hear it. It's unfucking deniable. Undeniable. And if you haven't clicked the subscribe button, if you haven't clicked the thumbs up, then you're afraid. You're fearful. You're afraid that someone will know you clicked thumbs up. You're afraid that someone will find out you subscribed to me on this channel because you've subscribed to the philosophy of Mgtow. Men, even though you're watching this in secret while your women are out shopping, spending your fucking money, or screwing your friends and your enemies, you look over your shoulder. Make sure no one's watching. That's fear. That is fear. Why is it that when dealing with the concept of having children, women give birth through the birth canal? Where do you park your boat when you come into dock? It makes birth at port. Right, what does port mean? It's a hole. Right? You're afraid of losing your pussy.